Well, here we are, folks, the evening of the 27th, and believe it or not, those people who were claiming that this Ellen in alignment was going to be Doomsday still have not dropped it. We thought for sure by now that the people claiming to have the answers would fall back or something, that those who claimed to somehow be an insider or had that special knowledge that somehow you didn't have would realize the absurdity of their certainties and the pointlessness of that whole prophecy stuff. If you believe any prophecy, believe that we cannot know the hour or the day. Now, we will give the Ellen in alignment prophets one thing. We're not saying that they have been vindicated like some of them are, but a lot's happened in the last couple of days, and we can't see it as anything except more evidence that nature's telling us to prepare. This typhoon in the Philippines is no joke. There are waves as tall as palm trees crashing over the seawalls. You know, the protests on Wall Street began days ago, but it wasn't until just yesterday that the mainstream media really began to cover it. Things like this can be very contagious. You've probably heard about the incident in Argentina. More than a dozen people saw this fireball come out of the sky. No reason to lie, no reason to claim something happened that didn't happen. A home and a business were destroyed, and a woman died. The official story now ignores all of those eyewitness accounts and says that it was a faulty gas connection to a pizza oven. The only person who photographed the object has been detained. Similar stuff coming from the sky incident happened in Texas. Now, while this wasn't some kind of fireball that came out of the sky, apparently debris did fall from the sky and strike a home and apparently caused some sort of fire. You know, we had that 6.8 or 6.9 in India, and they're having a lot of 4s and 5s, and there's a lot of flooding going on there as well. And some of the local scientists are saying that at any moment there could be a serious landslide, and it could be a big problem. You know, on the nuclear side of things, you might know a couple of days ago they found that yellow cake uranium in Libya. Well, apparently at one of Gaddafi's warehouses, they have officially found more radioactive material. In Moldavia, just north of the Ukraine, there was a sting to get a bunch of weapons-grade uranium, and after the sting they realized that they didn't get it all. As much as a kilogram is still in criminal hands. Speaking of nuclear events, the Palisades nuclear facility, an unplanned shutdown was triggered by an electrical accident, and radioactive steam is now being released into the environment. Very interesting. It says here the steam that would normally go into the generators is steam that is now going into the environment, and it contains tritium. Remember that from 9/11? Do you know that anthrax has been reported in Italy? Do you know there was more mass animal deaths in Micronesia, this time chickens and ducks? Speaking of electrical incidents, like the one that happened at the Palisades, apparently something with the navigation system caused 2 planes to make emergency landings in Venezuela shortly after takeoff. That kind of stuff could definitely be electromagnetically connected. Now, some of you may remember the horrific train crash in China that their media tried to cover up. Well, there was a less gruesome train incident that happened just today, and this was caused by a signal failure. Now, they don't say anything about an electrical incident, but signal failure seems to us to indicate that it has something to do with electricity. Now, you may be noticing this electromagnetic theme that we're bringing up here. At the 12 o'clock hour yesterday, September 26th, solar wind began to spike. You can see there, if you look vertically from hour 12, everything sort of goes from calm-ish to scattered or elevated. If you look at the interplanetary magnetic field, right there at the 12 o'clock hour, you see that things go awry. For those who've been living under a rock, that was a different way of showing this, which is the geomagnetic storm, the strong one that hit us yesterday and that is just now subsiding. An interesting thought: if our magnetic field is created by the metal flowing at the center of our planet, you would think that perhaps this could have an effect on that metal. Might be interesting to look for an earthquake in the next couple of days. We're going to leave you with this because it presents a very rare and unique opportunity. You might have heard about the latest hijinks with David Gergen and George Clooney. It's really not that big of a deal, except that it gives you an opportunity to relevantly and, I guess, with good reason, question David Gergen. And all you have to do is open that little door, mention the Alex Jones, the Bohemian Grove thing. There's certainly no smoking gun there. And we're no fans of what Alex Jones has become. But you have to take these opportunities when you get them. So it is what it is, folks. There has been a slight uptick in earthquakes today, so be on the lookout for a fairly larger one in the next day or so. And as Rosh Hashanah approaches, be safe.